Hey, it's Marie Forleo, and you are watching Marie TV, the place to be to create a business and life you love. If you want to set yourself on a path to have the most beautiful life possible, regardless of your circumstances, this episode is for you. Krishna Ji and Preetha Ji are the founders of O&O Academy, a philosophy and meditation school for transforming consciousness. They're entrepreneurs and philosophers who have led thousands of people around the world through their retreats and the Ecom World Peace Festival. Their first book, The 4 Sacred Secrets for Love and Prosperity, A Guide to Living in a Beautiful State, is available now. Thank you both so much for being here. It's such an honor to have you here on the show.
Thank you very much for having us.
So you've had your organization, you've been teaching thousands for 30 years now. Talk to me about what inspired you guys to write this book now, which is brilliant, by the way.
For us, living in a transformed state of consciousness is not the be-all of life, nor is fame, wealth, relationship, the end-all of life. And for us, what we see is coming together of both of this. And to put it in a word, actually you say that, Buddha.
Yeah, it's about, we want to tell people and teach people and give this gift, Buddha living in a Benz, or Buddha driving a Benz. You know? See, we are constantly in this belief that our happiness, our joy, everything is found through external success.
Yes.
We feel if we get more wealthier, we'll become more happier. If we look more beautiful, we'll become more happier, more healthier, more happier. Better relationships in life, more happier. But we are constantly seeing that people are actually becoming more unhappier, which means we have to learn to master our inner world. And happiness is something that's enjoyed within here.
Yes.
So it is very important that we first learn to live in a beautiful state, which means learning to live in a state of joy, happiness, calm, peace. And from there, nurture our life. From there, build our life. From there, build our relationships. From there, build our wealth. From there, build our success. From there, have a vision for our health. For anything in life, external, we need to come from a beautiful state. We need to come from this place of inner calm. We need to come from this place of inner fulfillment. Then everything you do has a meaning, has a purpose. And those actions are very beautiful actions. Yeah. Because now you're not trying to make yourself you're not craving for happiness, but instead you are actually happy and doing things from that state. So it is very important that we understand that the external world and the inner world has to come together, which means you have to have this gift of Buddha driving a Benz, where Buddha is the inner state and driving the Benz is your external success in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think one of the most beautiful stories in the book, which illustrates really the contrast between what you guys have framed as a suffering state, right, versus a beautiful state, is the story of the 2 monks.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell that?
Sure.
Yes.
2 monks, we just named them Yasmi and Nomi. They're returning back to the monastery, and on the way they have to cross a river. And just as they're about to cross a river, they hear a woman crying. So Yasmi goes up to her and asks her what was troubling her. She actually has to cross the river, but the river is so full. So she's fearing that she'll not be able to get back to her toddler. And she's fearing that he would cry for her all night. So Yasmi offers to help her. So he carries her and leaves her on the other side of the bank. And Yasmi and Nomi continue on the walk towards the monastery. And after half an hour into the walk, Nomi in a very agitated tone speaks up. You know what you have done? And Yasmi says, this is very calm. Yes. He says, no, you carried the woman. Yasmi is like, so? Our master said never look at a woman, you went and spoke to her. Our master said never speak to a woman, you touched her. And our master said never touch a woman, you carried her. You've done something very wrong. For which Yasmi very calmly looks at Nomi and says, yes, but I've dropped her half an hour ago. It is you who's still carrying her.
I love that story because it illustrates how much in our minds we carry our past or the worries about the future or the anxieties and so much here. And we're not actually present to our lives, which in this moment, typically, if you're really here for it, is quite beautiful. And quite awesome if you're not listening to this thing.
Absolutely. And Yasmi clearly represents that state.
Yes.
In a beautiful state, he's just going to the woman, sees what is needed, does what is needed, and then continues with life.
Yes.
But Nomi is very agitated within, continues in the state of agitation, and continues in that state of agitation even after the event is over. and he's not being present to life.
Yes.
A beautiful state is a state where you are being present, a state in which there is no inner conflict. It is not an emotional high, but it is a state where you're feeling so connected to life, connected to people, to life. And what takes away this beautiful state is the suffering state.
And how would you define that as a suffering state for
A
anyone?
suffering state is any state in which you're experiencing an inner disturbance. It could start off as irritation, as frustration, as loneliness, as sadness, as anxiety, as fear, as insecurity. And what is it that an individual is nurturing or fueling at any point of time? Because there are only two states, Krishnaji always says.
Yeah. There are only two states that we experience life from. There's no third state. Whether we are a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, whether we're a Chinese, Indian, Japanese, or American, whether we're a 3-year-old child or a 100-year-old person, man, woman, anyone in this planet, we are only experiencing life from these two states, either a suffering state or a beautiful state. You are either relating to your child from a space of love or from a space of confusion and conflict, not knowing how to take care of your child. You're either going to work from a space of connection, connected to the vision that you're doing, or you're just conflicted, not knowing what you're going to do with your life. How is this day going to be? You're constantly in a state of worry, not knowing how the day is going to unfold. So these are the only two states that you're constantly living from. So the most important question in life is, what state do I want to live my life from? What state do I want to be a parent from? What state do I want to be a husband or a wife from? What state do I want to go to my work from? What state do I want to be a leader from? That's the most important question. And if we can find the answer, which is a beautiful state, then life becomes beautiful.
Because behind everything that we're seeing in life, whether we're deciding to be together or to separate or to take up this job or another job, anything that you're seeing behind war or peace that you're seeing in the world, the division that we're experiencing is one of these two states. And unfortunately, we're not given sufficient attention to our state, because our life is revolved about what we can show off to others and how much we can achieve. Nothing wrong with it, but if it can come from a beautiful state, it'll be nurturing to yourself, and you can also be nurturing to others.
Yes.